Get Healthy Now presents.
So in today's video, I am simply going to share with you my favorite ways to self-care that help me recharge and rejuvenate and make sure that, my mental and my physical health is in a good place. That way I can get the most out of the rest of my life and make sure that I'm getting heaps of work and socializing and all that good stuff done. Without further ado, let's get into the video, and these are my 8 favorite ways to practice self-care. Self-care tip number 1 is very simple, and it is to wash your body. Obviously, I shower and wash my body every day, but I think there is something really nice about setting specific time aside to have a really beautiful warm shower and use products that you absolutely adore. As you probably know, I am vegan, so I really love being able to use vegan and cruelty-free products on my skin and end off. Another one of my absolute favorite things to do, which will likely come as no surprise if you are a regular viewer of my channel, is that I love to get bendy. This is one of my favorite forms of self-care because stretching my body and seeing the gradual strength and flexibility in the way my body moves is seriously so rewarding, and it puts me into like this beautiful meditative state. If you're looking to implement a self-care routine into your life, I would 100% look into a way of moving your body that feels good to you. To me, I am not a person who loves to wake up and do a workout first thing in the morning. It is just definitely not my kind of vibe, but stretching is something that makes me feel really relaxed and rejuvenated, and it just makes my body feel really good. Some days I will set aside half an hour to do this, and other days I will literally set aside 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes can still make me feel really amazing and ready to go for the day ahead. So stretching may not be the type of exercise or body movement that you want to implement into your self-care routine, but I really recommend implementing some kind of rejuvenating body movement into your self-care practice so that it can really help you to relax and rejuvenate. I don't really know what this was, but we'll go with it. Self-care tip number 3 is an absolute classic, and it is to watch some trashy reality TV. I seriously spent a lot of time feeling guilty for wanting to spend time in my bed watching reality TV, but I've soon come to realize that it is one of the greatest forms of self-care. I absolutely love the days where I put time aside to just literally chill out in my bed for like 3 hours and watch back-to-back episodes of Survivor. It seriously makes me feel so good and so relaxed, and I'm always so grateful to myself for setting that time aside to literally do like nothing. Like watching TV is just like, you're literally allowing yourself to just chill out and for your mind to not be busy and for your body to not be moving and to just like focus on this thing that you're watching. And I don't know if it's just me, but to me it feels like such an amazing form of self-care. I really recommend allowing yourself that time. We are busy humans. I am a busy human, and I sometimes am like, no, I can't set that time aside to, watch some TV or watch a movie or whatever. But I always feel so much better after I do so, and it makes me feel really reset and like, okay, I'm ready to tackle all the work that I have to do now. Anyway, that may not be for everyone, but personally, I really recommend it. Let's move on to self-care tip number 4. Oiling my body might sound a little bit yikes the first time you hear it, but trust me, this stuff makes me feel like an absolute goddess. And if that ain't a form of self-care, I don't know what is. Similarly to my shower routine, I have been really enjoying using LeBang body products, and I've mentioned this product on my Instagram and on YouTube before, and it is their hydrating body oils, and I am absolutely obsessed with the strawberry scented one. I like put it all over my body and it makes me feel so beautiful, and my skin feels so nourished afterwards, and I also smell amazing and tend to get compliments on how good I smell after I use it, so that's a form of nourishment in itself. But yeah, seriously, 10 out of 10 would recommend taking that time aside again to nourish your body in that sense. And yeah, personally, I've been really enjoying using hydrating body oils on my skin. They make me feel so soft and good, and it really amps up the amount of love I have for myself because I feel really, really good in my skin and my body after I use it. So I would really, really recommend finding that time and product that you love to nourish your self-care. Tip number 5 is to find something you love to listen to and get outside and move your body whilst listening to it. Personally, I'm very lucky to live in a beautiful part of the world, so I love to go and walk along the beach whilst I listen to a podcast. The podcast that I have been absolutely loving and I would seriously recommend is a podcast by Juliet Allen, and it is called the Authentic Sex Podcast. While we're on this topic, actually, I really want to share a quote from one of these podcast episodes by Juliet Allen, and this is something that really resonated with me, and because of it, I listen to this podcast episode like a couple of times a week, and it really makes me feel good about like the self-development journey that I'm on and all that good stuff. So this is the quote, and I hope that it resonates with you in some way. Love yourself how you'd want others to love you. Be your own lover. Because it's all well and good, especially for the single people out there, to be saying, oh, you know, my ideal partner looks like this, dresses like this, does this for a job, etc. It's all well and good to say that. However, if you don't love yourself, you don't love how you look, you don't love how you feel, you don't love what you're doing for a living, etc., then that's where you need to begin. Not seeking somebody outside who's going to somehow fill up your cup with all of their achievements or all of their happiness. And that is something that has really stuck with me, and I have learned a lot from it, and I wouldn't have been able to learn so much from it if I didn't set that time aside for self-care, to start listening to podcasts and walking and just like looking after myself, you know? So I very strongly recommend taking the time to listen to what someone else has to say and to learn and to just, work on yourself. It feels really amazing. Okay, let's move on to self-care tip number 6. Self-care tip number 6 is not something that is going to apply to everyone, but it is something that I personally practice, so I really wanted to talk about it. I am very lucky and very grateful to live near the ocean, which is one of the most therapeutic places. So for me, one of the greatest forms of self-care is going for a swim in the ocean. Now let me tell you, I don't always feel like doing so. I literally live like a 5-minute walk from the beach, and I still have times when I'm like, I literally just like don't want to go. I don't have time to go. I have too much work to do, yada yada. I do this quite frequently, but I've been purposely doing this thing where I tell myself, no, you have half an hour to literally go down and nourish yourself and feel really amazing afterwards. I love to think about the feeling that I have after I do these things, and that's the thing, after I go for a quick swim in the ocean, I always feel super nourished and amazing afterwards. So I guess if you're someone who doesn't live near the ocean and doesn't have the ability to go swimming in the ocean every day, what I recommend is, I think as humans we always have these walls that like block us. Like, we know that something is going to make us feel better, but we can't get ourselves to do that. My advice to you is to think about the feeling you have after you do that. The feeling I get after a swim makes me feel really like almost euphoric and like I can tackle many things, and that feeling makes me want to keep going back and swimming in the ocean. So if you have something that you know makes you feel amazing, I encourage you to practice that as much as you can, and to remember a small amount of time out of your day is going to make the rest of your day so much more productive. Alrighty, let's move on to self-care tip number 7. Self-care tip number 7 is something I've spoken about so many times on my channel, but it is something that I feel the need to reiterate and talk about, and that is a beautiful thing called ASMR. ASMR is something that I discovered when I was very deep in my anxiety and my depression, and it is something that helped me sleep at night when I was really struggling to sleep. ASMR is something that I also now listen to almost every night before I go to sleep, and it makes me feel super relaxed and ensures I get a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep, I feel, is one of like the greatest forms of self-care, and ASMR is something that really gets me to that place. So if you have never tried watching ASMR or using it as a tool to help you sleep or just honestly relax during the day, I really recommend it. I fully listen to ASMR when I'm like cleaning the house or when I feel like I just need to relax a little bit, and it helps me out so much. I will link some of my favorite ASMR channels down below, and then hopefully they can help you nourish yourself as well. Self-care tip number 8 is something that I'm going to go into into in way more detail in my next Get Healthy With Me video, and that is intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is something that I have not always practiced, but it is something that has had a seriously amazing impact on me and my life and just my attitude towards food and diet in general. I believe in veganism, and I also believe in nourishment of the mind and the body, and I think that what we put into our body is, yeah, obviously directly correlated with how we feel emotionally and physically. So let self-care number 8 be a reminder to you to nourish your body with the food that it wants and it needs. Nourishing your body includes going out for dinner with your friends. It includes eating vegan junk food. It also includes eating heaps of kale because you know it's good for you. It also includes eating heaps of chickpeas because you know that they do really well with your body. Like, I really want to talk about intuitive eating and what I've learned and how I've learned to do it in my next video, but I did want to mention it here because it is one of the greatest forms of self-care, in my opinion, is nourishing your body with the food that it craves and it wants. So yeah, anyway, those are the 8 ways that I personally really enjoy practicing self-care. I hope that they help you and inspire you to start practicing self-care yourself, or perhaps add other things to your self-care routine. If you have anything that you practice that you want to share, please let us know down in the comments below. It would be really nice to hear from you. Also, I wanted to say a big thank you to my beautiful friends at Labang Body for sponsoring today's video. It is much appreciated. And thank you to all of you beautiful humans for being here and watching today. I will be back very soon with another video. Have a good one. Bye.